Hello there, Sprinkles. I've got a message for you, and I don't give a damn if you want to see those crypto poop coins, because today I'm actually going to show you, friends, the most important singular chart that you'll ever see in your lifetime. It is the Dow Jones versus gold ratio. And you're like, golly gee, that's not a crypto chart. How is this the most important chart? Sit down. You get your fluffy slippers on, you spin in your squeaky chair, and you sharpen your pointy elbows, because this is actually the chart that will keep you bullish for cryptocurrency industry, despite red candles and despite everybody trying to poop all over us. I've stated here, and I really do mean it, if I could only show you one chart to give you the secret to derive crypto bull sentiment, it is this chart. You're like, oh, gee, what's the chart? What's the chart? Such a magical chart. Patience, young Timmy. It is the Dow to gold chart. Now, what does it mean? It means the Dow Jones, right? Or as Mr. MM Crypto calls it, the Dow Jones. That's how he says it, friends. German accent. I love Germans. Okay, look. The Dow Jones priced in gold, it's been oscillating. Have you noticed that this is basically, it's just the Dow Jones, right? It's the Dow Jones. But it's not Dow over the USD, okay? It's not the Dow Jones over US dollar. It's Dow versus gold. It's a ratio. It's like saying ETH BTC. So like, okay, Ethereum goes up over time against the US dollar, but who cares about that? We want to see the real performance. How do you go up versus Bitcoin? That's why we look at alt BTC ratios, ETH BTC ratios. That's why they even divide the S&P 500 by Bitcoin. They're like, all right, let's see how you really performed. Of course, it's like a no-brainer, right? Bitcoin has exploded versus it because it started from a very small user base. Now, when you do this, what are you actually doing? Because you divide it by gold, you remove the money printing. So the ratio cannot be manipulated by the bug eaters, by the IMF, by the establishment, by JP Mosquito and the secret owners, the private owners of the US Fed. They can't manipulate it. The central banksters, the scum, the cockroach gut-eating scum. They can't touch it. Now it's up to natural market forces. Well, it's as best as we can get, right? So you can see here, this oscillates over time. You see it's did, but bottom left here, 1987, baby dolls. 1987, you go up and down and up and down and up and down, and oh, here we are. Now, just don't get too scared, but this chart, if it goes back down, okay, and it gets back to an extreme price, which is like here, okay, some people say, well, the stock market's going to drop 70%. And yes, for this chart to go down, it's true, the stock market could drop 70%. But another way that this chart can go down, because it's a ratio, is stocks. So stocks can go sideways over a decade, and then gold can go up 3x. Okay, 2x to 3x. That's another way for this chart to go down. And you can actually go back to the periods of history where, you know, you can look at different moments in time where things have happened. So from here, stocks went down and then gold went up. You can say, remember, this is Dow Jones. So this going up is, if the chart goes up, it's stock market strength. If the chart goes down, it's real stock market weakness, okay? So you can see here, it's funny, right? In the tech bubble, we think, oh my gosh, the tech bubble, you were like so sky-high valuations. Well, you weren't parabolic sky-high valuations. You were just high versus gold. You were at the top of the range, but you weren't like nuclear sky-high prices. It was just the top of a range. Interesting, right? So I'm going to show you right now. This is the actual Dow Jones chart. This is a stock market. The stock market over 1897 here. You see how it's up only? Well, did it really go up only? I just showed you the ratio. No, it didn't. It kind of did. I've made posts and charts, and I'm also going to pump for you some nice cranky music. But when it comes to these, friends, remember, there's a scam going on. Money supply printing plus 2% is the answer. All right. So The S&P 500, I know this isn't the S&P, but they're about the same, right? They got the same companies-ish, different ratios, who cares? But the S&P 500, over the long run, whatever they print for the money supply, you get that plus 2%. So the S&P 500, yeah, it's pretty cool, but it's not telling you the full picture, right? But here's the thing as well, right? The S&P 500 pays you dividends. So this chart here doesn't show you the dividend payment, but at least it paints for you another picture. It tells you, well, I thought I was really going to kill it over the next 10 to 15 years. No, you're not. Because the money printing is so aggressive, and you and I, as outsiders, as people, we don't get it. The insiders get it. You understand? Now, don't listen to all these other macro people. They're like, oh, no. It's not money printing. What they do is they go from balance sheet 1 to balance sheet 2 and then 3, and they do the jibby jazz, and they put it into Batman's Batmobile, and then it comes around here, and here you go. In the laundry basket, there you go. Smelly shirt, gets washed. That's what they try to do. They try to obfuscate everything. But it's actually more simple than that. They have access to the money printer, which is just a keyboard stroke, and you don't. We're here, right? We're here, friends. You see, that's us here. These are the insiders, okay? The left here, there's the bugs. These are the bug eater people. That's it. They have access to the money printer. They get to allocate and designate where they want to push it. And it shows up in these charts over time. But no one understands it, but they're never going to put the real chart out. If you want to see the real chart, baby dolls, right, you just divide it by gold. Now you got the real chart, baby. Now, see, this is Dow Jones. Oh, what happened to you up only for the past 100 years? You didn't really go up only, did it? Okay, compared to what you did before. I mean, if I go back and just tell you, look at this. What they'll tell you, they go, well, look, all these stats, right? They go, hey, if you go back to 1950s, the Dow Jones is up. Whoa, it's up 195 times your money. 195. But if you look at the real ratio, you say, okay, wait a minute. Removing the money printing and all the scamming, if we go back to 1950, what have you done? 1950, you're up 2.6x. That's crazy, right? Oh my God, that actually sucks. That's all you've been from the stock market. You beat their money printing, right? Now, here's the thing, right? When it comes to the money printing, people get confused because they think, well, it doesn't appear in the food prices and everything. Yes, of course, idiots. I'm not calling you an idiot, friends. It's an expression, okay? You're a friend. You're not an idiot. But I'm just telling you, the bug eaters, the overlords, they don't go buy bananas. And there's going to be a banana emoji. Of course, it has to be an ode to a banana. They don't go buy bananas. They don't go buy petrol, gas. They don't do that. They go buy assets. They go own the country. They go buy monuments. They go buy heritage, big buildings. They don't appear in the inflation index, but the money went there. Okay, so instead, if they had $100 million back 50 years ago, they don't go buy $100 million worth of bananas. They go and buy that big 50-story building next to the train station. And who knows, maybe it's got the CIA in there now. You know what I mean? They buy these big places and they just never appear. And now the families and the insiders who are connected with them, they all own it. It never appears in the economic data. What a perfect system for them, isn't it? They've already done the corruption, and now what they do is they put a hyper focus on you. They go, you're buying too many tomatoes, we're going to hike rates. What a scam. So this is actually the real chart. Remember I told you that you got to back that is very, very straight. I know, I can see it, I can feel it. But this oscillator, what does it tell you? It tells you, well, the money printer accounts for most of those stock market gains. So this tells you there's something going on here. Now, if you were to take a punt, right, just a punt, maybe it continues going down in the form of stocks going sideways for the next 5 to 10 years. Remember, stocks can break the high, break the low, friends. It doesn't have to just go literally definite sideways. Like the stock market can go break the high and then go up for like 7 years and then come back and retrace. It can do that, okay? So it can do that while gold goes up a 2 to 3x. And we know gold's very undervalued because they've been keeping the lid on it, right? So that's one way these ratio catches up. But people like, say, Uncle Peter Schiff and other gold enthusiasts, they're very aware of this chart. Everyone, all the gold people, they've known about this chart for a long time. it's just wonderful that in crypto, you don't need to know this chart, but it's nice to see it, right? And it can help you propel yourself into the future because you get to see, oh my gosh, I don't want to own the stock market here. All right, that's basically what it's saying. It's I don't want to own the stock market. I want to own something else. But you got to remember, these things take a long time to play out. These are years and years and years. This is a decade, man. This is a decade at a time. Now, I did promise you some quiet, gentle angel music, friends. Actually, very gentle and very quiet. And when it comes to this, all right, look, in periods of history, gold has done well as an inflation hedge, but it's not linear. It's just like Bitcoin. It's not linear. So what people want, we want the perfect world where they print money and then it goes into our bags. That's not going to happen because the money printing goes to the insiders first and they fumble it and they play with it and they go buy their insider things. Then eventually it seeps in. It takes time. So we just have these bursts upwards. All right. Now I've got this chart here just to show you over time. Over time, gold is a monetary inflation hedge. Gold and Bitcoin do well, but look at these. See this bottom part here? There's periods that does good and then poop, and then good and then poop, and then good and then poop. You see that? There are these fluctuations over time. And yeah, these are like, it could be a decade at a time. So this is for someone like, say, Uncle Ray Dalio, who's doing like trillions of dollars of portfolio management, and they're trying to manage these people's wealth over time to grow it. For you and me, we don't need it, friends. Like I'm telling you, Dow Jones, gold, boring. Give me a hyper risk. Give me a parabola. Give me Ponzi's, greater full theory, JPEG NFTs. Give me yield, smart contract platforms. That's where I want to be, all right? Because your upside on getting gold right is like, wow, congratulations, you made a 2x. You know what I mean? But look, if Uncle Petey was here, Uncle Petey Schiff would say, no, devil's advocate, you're going to make a 2x while everybody loses 80% of their net worth. That's actually what he does say. He says because a Great Depression type of style correction would come in that scenario. And look, if it happens, he's right. But we know what they're going to do. They're going to print money. They're going to hand it out like candy if that scenario happened. And we just had the zombie virus scenario. So most likely it's going to be a while away. All right. Now, these bursts upwards, we might see them as a 4-year cycle. Wink, wink. Hope it plays out. Hope it doesn't scam us. But that's what we're playing for. You're not playing for this linear type of upwards movement. If you wanted that, you buy the stock market, but you're only going to get your 7% per year. That's a 2x every 10 years, friends. You guys, you want a 2x in like a day to take half of your money out. That's what some of these people are doing out here. All right. So, however, Bitcoin is diminishing hard, but at least you get to see over time the true chart. The true chart is money printing accounts for most of the stock market gains, and the real daddy to beat is gold. And guess what? Now the real daddy to beat is actually digital gold, Bitcoin. And that's what we do. That's why we chart against BTC ratios. That's why we are all going to truly make it. It's just a matter of time. Make sure you like, subscribe, belly button all. Don't forget he loves you. Catch you soon.